Hello there, monster. I'll get you off this thing today, maybe, huh? Should we get this freaking door opened up? What the? You gonna have to get out the way, bruh. You in the way, these freaking kids. Come on, y'all. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's cold, man. It's super early still. Y'all already know. Title of this video, we got to get this thing kind of rolling. We are about there where we can probably mock it up. I'm still waiting on a part. If you look down there, you see that mashed up looking plate looking thing down there? So that's the original plate that goes between the bell housing and the engine. And we need that plate, obviously, to make the transmission and motor together. And I was waiting on that. I got it ordered, but it'll probably be about 5 to 10 business days before we can actually see it. But I figured we might as well see if we can prep the motor up and maybe just place it in the car without the transmission and maybe just go from there. Because like I said, we're going to have to be just waiting on that. But in the meantime, we might as well pull all this stuff off. I want to pull all this old wiring off of here because we're not going to use the stock factory harness. We have a new standalone harness that we're using from Mopar. So we're going to pull all these old connectors and stuff like that off and see what else we can get off so we can kind of get this thing rolling. Yes, sir. A little dusty, but we'll get her cleaned up too. Let's get to it. We might as well. Man, y'all, I swear to God, now I know why this thing is called the Hellcat. Because the wiring is just straight hell, you guys. I think I got most of it off. But look at this. This one right there, you guys saw earlier, it gave me a lot of problems. It was a freaking nightmare. And it won't even come out unless I remove this alternator, which is a little much. But I think we're just going to cut this off because guess what? We're not using any of this wiring. So I'm going to cut this off and... yeah, and then when we put the new harness on, I will remove this at that time, but right now, not never. So, yeah, I think we got everything else off for the most part. This is broken. We got to get a new one of this. This reservoir is busted up too. It's got a big old crack down here. We got to get a new one of that. We'll leave this hose on for now. But I think we got pretty much everything off for now as far as this freaking harness goes. The stock factory harness. Remove all that. But these connectors are just a nightmare, guys. A lot of these connectors on these Mopar, I've never dealt with no Mopar before, and they just have like this red security deal going on where you got to pop that and then push and pull, man. It's a nightmare regardless. So, but if you guys are working on one, I feel your pain, bro. Feel your pain. Not to mention they have these little, I mean, I'm all about like cable management and stuff, and I will say this, like Mopar, oh my God, talk about cable management. Like they got that down to a T on this motor, and that's why it took such a pain in the ass to get the whole harness off, because they use these clips. I can't even get this one off. They use these clips to hold the harness onto the motor, like so it'll never move. It's crazy. They're like a Christmas tree style clip with the zip tie on it, and they're just all over the engine, and we're gonna end up having to pull all these old ones off and put new ones on. But they got that down for sure, like, because it's crazy, super crazy how that harness is laced in there. But we also got these cool brackets, guys. Check these out. I want to say these are from schwartzperformance, so check these out. These are pretty badass. These will basically, there's 4 of these, and it'll bolt on to the motor on the side onto 4 points. So that way, when we lift the engine up, it goes straight up, and we don't have to worry about clearance with the valve covers or a chain or anything like that. And so those will bolt up to the side of the block, and we'll be able to pick it up with the engine lift. I'll show you guys here in a little bit. Let me cut this off, and then we'll slap these on. And then we also got to put the motor mounts, and we also got to put the new pan. We got a new pan for it as well, new oil pan that's gonna work for this setup for that 68 Charger. All right, y'all, we got the brackets from Schwartz. This is from Schwartz Performance. These are the lift plates for the Hellcat motor. They really thought this out, so check this out. These will bolt up. Oh, this will go as the front one, but I gotta remove that dipstick. It'll bolt up like that, just like that, and it'll help us lift the engine up. Let me remove this dipstick. If you look, they give us the plates, and then they'll give us the actual hardware, new hardware that you're gonna use here, if I can find it. Got all this trash everywhere, but let's see. Look, I'll show you guys real quick before I remove that dipstick, like that, something like that. Oh, we gotta remove this out here, out of the way. I think I got the wrong side. So it'll be something like that. We gotta tighten those up though. But look at that, you see that? How that kind of works? Perfectly angled, so that when we put our chain here or strap to pick it up, it's perfectly, nothing is gonna get hit or damaged. So we gotta tighten these up. And then even look, they thought about everything, and they even have this cutout here for that little nipple off the valve cover. Pretty nice. Let me remove this guy here so we can put that side on. Let's see if this is the right, see if it's the same size as this one. I don't think it's the same size. No, sir, of course not. It's like what, a 10? Let's see, where you at? Where you at? Yep, sure is. We gotta pull this dipstick out anyways, guys, because we gotta change that oil pan out, remember? So we're gonna have to pull that out anyways, so might as well. Come on. Come on with it. Woo. Bye, Felicia. So if you guys are doing a Hellcat swap, look into these plates, man. These are gonna work sweet. It's gonna help us, like I said, mock this engine up and make it life a lot easier. I've already put them on the other side, so we'll have them just like that. See? Look at that. That's gonna make it nice and easy. Lift it. See, we don't have to worry about breaking these coils. If you look, that's probably how this one broke, is they had a chain there hooked up. But I like it. I like it. So we got left is the oil pan. I gotta get that oil pan out, but we might have to wait till later tonight. It'll be in the same video though, because I gotta run and take care of some errands, and not to mention I gotta go to work. But I think we got everything kind of, for the most part, ready for mock-up. We got to get that lift, the hoist, chain, all that junk. Yes, sir. Man, this thing is big, bro. This thing is big, heavy, all that. It is the next day. KO came over yesterday, helped me move this thing on this side. Appreciate you, dog. I got the oil pan laid out. We're going to have to put the oil pan up so we can get this thing cleaned up and mocked in the car as well. Also got the engine mounts. We got the engine mounts. Once again, these are from Riley's Motorsports. So if you guys are doing a Hellcat swap, man, Riley's Motorsports is really the answer for you guys. Hit up 80s Performance though. 80s Performance, like I said, once again, he is a vendor of theirs and he gets us all our stuff. But yeah, this thing is a beast, y'all. This thing makes me look tiny coming next to it. I don't know if you guys saw that picture I posted the other day, and this thing is a monster. But let's open this stuff up. We'll get the engine mounts on it, And then once we get the engine mounts on it, we'll get the oil pan on it, and then we can maybe pressure wash this thing up a little bit, clean it up, so we can get this thing up in the air like that. Well, y'all, we got gasket off, but I totally screwed up. Well, I wouldn't even say screwed up. I didn't realize that oil pan was not going to come with a gasket. And talk about a gasket. Like, that's not going to be cheap. I can already tell that's going to be a pricey gasket. We can't even put this oil pan without a new gasket, so I'm going to call the dealership up. It is a Saturday. See if they got one in stock. If not, I don't know what we're gonna do. But well, y'all, I'm a little bummed because went to the dealership. Remember, we needed the gasket. We got the gasket, oil pan gasket, and after all that, wrong oil pan. We got the wrong oil pan. Apparently, we got the one for the 6.1 Hemi. This is a 6.2. So we got to order the right oil pan, long story short, but we can't put the oil pan on. We can't drop it in quite yet, obviously. At least I don't want to. But I'm going to put the engine mounts on real quick. Maybe we can mess with that AC stuff. I'm going to open up the vintage air kit from it and kind of go over it and see what we got to do to get prepped. So we can probably do that. So we'll probably do that. Try to get the vintage air kit out and go from there. Let me throw these motor mounts on. New hardware. We'll take these ones off. I mean, we probably can use them, but we'll just use the Riley Motorsports stuff because these looks like these bolts are actually shorter than these. These probably a lot longer, and you probably need the factory mount because there's probably like a huge spacing or a gap. So we're not going to use those. If there's any tip I can give you guys for just putting engine mounts in, regardless of the make and model, with swaps, never tighten them up. Never tighten them all the way tight, because you're always going to need some kind of play or some kind of adjustment when you're dropping the motor in. I always leave them loose like that to the block, adjust them, tighten them later once you got the engine sitting in there. But I always leave them loose, so we're gonna leave it just like that. Damn, Gina. Well, boys, it don't look too much different than the Chevelle ones, right? I really was a little bit nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little bit nervous about this vintage air kit with this Mopar, this Hellcat. But of course, it is the same manufacturer. And I mean, honestly, I think that is the exact same EVAP box from the Chevelle. Believe it or not, they must run it, obviously, in all the older cars, the same exact setup, because it looks identical. What I was really looking for was for these bad boys right here, because I have never done a Mopar, for one, let alone a 68 Charger with the Hellcat in it. So I needed that deal there. So we got to study this, see what we got to do, anything different. But I mean, even the brackets look almost the same, obviously with a few minor differences depending on how they mount. Looks like we got a lot more like block off plates or something here. Some dash pieces. Wiring looks identical, by the way. All our duct work here, looks like, that we're gonna need, but I need to study that bad boy right there. But I'm gonna go ahead and study that up. It's too bad we gotta wait on a new oil pan for that before we can actually drop this thing in. I think that's gonna do it for the video, guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell for notifications, and you guys already know, stay wrenching.